Captain Rose E. Campbell, Officer Selection Officer, Officer Selection Team, Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. On November 1st, 1921, John A. Lejeune, 13th Commandant of the Marine Corps, directed that a reminder of the honorable service of the Corps be published. By every command to all Marines throughout the globe, on the birthday of the Marine Corps. Since that day, the men and women of our Corps have continued to distinguish themselves on many battlefields and foreign shores, in war and peace. On this birthday of the Corps, therefore, in recognition of the will of the 13th Commandant, a reminder of the Corps, honorable service is published as follows.
On November 10th, 1775, a Corps of Marines was created by a resolution of the Continental Congress. Since that date, many thousand men have bore the name Marine. In memory of them, it is fitting that we who are Marines should commemorate the birthday of our Corps by calling to mind this glory of its long and illustrious history. The record of our Corps is one which will bear comparison with that of the most famous military organization in the world's history. During 90 of the first 146 years of its existence, the Marine Corps has been in action against the nation's foes. From the Battle of Trenton to the Aragon, Marines have won the foremost honors in war in the long eras of tranquility at home. Generation after generation, our Marines have grown brave in war, in both hemispheres and in every corner of the seven seas, that our country and its citizens might enjoy peace and security. In every battle and skirmish since the birth of our Corps, Marines have acquitted themselves with the greatest distinctions, winning new honors on each occasion until the term Marine has come to signify all that is highest in military efficiency and soldierly virtue. This high name of distinction and soldierly repute, we who are Marines today have received from those who have preceded us in the Corps. With it, we also receive from them the eternal spirit, which has animated our Corps from generation to generation and has been the distinguishing mark of Marines in every age. So long as the spirit continues to flourish, Marines will be found equal to every emergency in the future as they have been in the past. And the men of our nation will regard us as worthy successors to the long line of illustrious men who have served as soldiers of the sea since the founding of our Corps.
The timeless message of our 13th Commandant has left its marks in the hearts and minds of all Marines, past and present. By deed and act, from Bellawood to Argonne, from Guadalcanal to Iwo Jima, from Incheon to the Korean Armistice, from the hard fights in Vietnam to Desert Shield, Desert Storm, to this country's longest wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and in hundreds of other places where Marines have distinguished themselves. Marines have continued to epitomize those qualities which are their legacy. The success which the men and women who have earned the title Marine have achieved in combat and the faith they have borne in peace will endure forever. The Commandant and our many friends have added their hearty praise and congratulations on this, our 243rd birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, it is customary at Marine Corps birthday celebrations worldwide for Marines to cut a traditional cake in celebration of our illustrious Corps. The first piece of cake goes to the guest of honor, Dr. Tchicaya, Miss Moo. The next pieces of cake are given to the oldest and the youngest Marine present, symbolizing the experience and youthful spirit that hallmarks our Corps. The oldest Marine present is Warrant Officer Louis I. Anomachi. He was born on 3 March 1972 in Nigeria. He enlisted in the Marine Corps on 30 November 2000 and is currently assigned as the Personnel Officer for 2nd Battalion, 23rd Marines, 4th Marine Division. The passing of the cape from the oldest to the youngest Marine symbolizes the passing of history and traditions to the next generation. The youngest Marine present is Corporal Marco A. Palacios. He was born on 28 May 1996 in Garden Grove, California, and enlisted in the Marine Corps on 26 January 2015, and is assigned to Recruiting Station Los Angeles as the Operations Clerk. Hoorah, waivers. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the retiring of the colors and the march off of the official party.
Detail! Attention! Carry! Cut! Ready? 2. Present! Sword!
That's Dr. Tchicaya, our guest of honor. He served in the United States Marine Corps as a sergeant. Prior to that, he fought tooth and nail to make his way from the Congo, correct? Against all odds, to make it to the United States and to serve his nation proudly. He now serves us in a civilian capacity, one, through his volunteer to support our RS and Marines and civilians, as a health advisor, motivational speaker, a businessman, a philanthropist. Dr. Tchicaya has given his blood, sweat, and tears for this country, continues to do so on his own accord. And without further ado, I introduce my friend, the doctor, today.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be your guest of honor this year. I am humbled and honored. Standing before you, I am grateful before measure on this, the 243th birthday of the greatest military institution ever created by God. Happy birthday, Marines. Once again, happy birthday, Marines. Oh, hell no. Happy birthday, Marines. No, you gotta tune up the volume. Happy birthday, Marines. I also want to thank all the Marines and sailors who serve and sacrifice over the last 243 years, paving the way so a little African boy, Congolese, deep in the jungles of the Congo, could have his dream realized. If this little boy is still dreaming, please don't wake him up. In a few moments, ladies and gentlemen, I will be taking you on a journey of the young child who once believed that he's not going to make it. History is not the birth of one man alone, but the sum of several events that have led this man to rise above all challenges. Statistically, I was a child that was most likely not to succeed. Let's face it, my dad has 20 children with 12 different women. In America, I can only afford one. At my birth, the doctor told my mother I would die before turning 1. Consequently, my mother suffered from postpartum post-traumatic stress disorder following my birth. Only 9% of women experience it. This depression led my mother to abandon me. I was forced to be raised by 3 women. My great-grandmother, Mama Miyamu, my grandmother, Mama Lukula, my aunt, Mama Nicole. From these 3 ladies, there were 4 core values instilled in me, my upbringing, that shaped the man I am today, including business ethics, leadership, aspiration, and courage. Due to my illness and my small size back then, people bullied me, picked on me, and beat me up. Every time my great-grandmother, who was blind due to diabetes, heard my cry, she would come outside of her bedroom with a cane, swinging at people around, and say this in Congolese, "Kutwanji mwana wu, lumbuchumoshibo kaba muntu," which means, do not beat up on my great-grandchild because one day he's gonna be somebody. Every time I was hurt or crying, my great-grandmother would always come by to whisper in my ears, "One day you will become somebody." Every time you whisper into the ears of a child, you are creating an emotional connection from his conscious to his subconscious. If we want to empower the world, let us start in whispering greatness. I'm asking you again, whisper greatness right now. I am waiting. Whisper greatness. My great-grandmother, Mama Miyamu, who passed away, always believed in me before I believed in myself. She told me to look up to the person I will become. Greatness is manifest when you don't look at the window, but to look through the mirror and to see who you will become. Every day I started to chase after that person who was my hero because I believe that one day I will be somebody. This taught me honor. People always saw me as a weak boy. So every night around 5 p.m., I was bullied and I would cry to my grandmother. My grandmother, Mama Lukola now, was an entrepreneur and was always selling goods. She always told me this, son, if you give the customer what they want, they will give you what you need. Every day, I will cry about being picked on, and one day, Mama Lukula had enough. She grabbed me by the neck and whispered in my ears, don't ever show weakness, that was my job to stand up for myself. But Mama Lukula didn't know that she triggered an awakening in the mindset of a little boy that will become a warrior. The next day, 5 p.m., I was bullied again. This time, I ran into my house, straight to the kitchen, pick up a machete, chased after those people who picked on me. Before I knew it, I only saw dust. This taught me courage. The next story I'm going to talk to you about, ladies and gentlemen, is the story about commitment. My aunt Nicole was a teenager. She was 13 years old when she raised a baby boy. Imagine your daughter being 13 years old and raising a baby boy. She was given the task to babysit me. She was responsible for my well-being. Even thought my mother was not around, I was never felt alone. It takes a village to raise a child. Mama Nicole taught me, without commitment, there is no greatness. If you want to become somebody, you want to be committed to your dream and take full responsibilities of your action. Now, it is important to tell you, when we were brought up in the Congo, we were told that the white man was God. The reason why we believe that the white man was God back in the Congo, we say Mundele Nzambe, which means the white man was God. The lack of education make us believe that the white man was God. Everything the white man was touching was blessed. Everything the black man was touching was evil. As a young man, we were looking to go play where the white people plays. They love jet skis, playing tennis, riding horses. In Africa, we don't ride horses, we eat them. But it was at the golf course that I saw my first Marine. One day, my friend and I were roaming the street of Brazzaville, looking and pick up golf balls to make some money. And I saw in the horizon a group of young people, tall, muscular, coordinate, same haircut. I approached them to try to sell them some golf balls. They were white with blue eyes. And I look at them and I say, why your eyes are blue? Do I look blue? He said, no, you don't look blue. And I say, who are you? He replied, we are Marines. And I asked him, what Marines stand for? He said, we are the savior of the planet. And I say, and I ask, like Star Wars? He say, yes, like Star Wars. And I asked him, how can I become like you? He said, you will never will become like me. But being rejected, he didn't know that my great-grandmother once believed that one day I will become somebody. He planted the seed in my brain, that one day I will become somebody. If we want to become somebody, we need to embrace rejection as our driving force to achieve greatness. Face rejection. Fast forward 1993, the civil war broke up in the Congo, in the south, where thousands of people died. I was only 15 years old. I made a choice to become a child soldier in order to protect my people, with the goal to become somebody. It was the first time in my life to see a person being killed in front of me. It was a mother with her baby. After being sexually molested, she was given a grenade. I smelled the burning flesh of a dying woman. This was the point I must turn around and face them and show courage that to make a change and find a willingness to sacrifice and others in need. I wanted to stand up for myself and to do what was right. I decided to join the military to protect and serve, not knowing I would be using my military training to fight another war that started June 5th, 1997. This was a very dangerous war, as the country was divided into two, the North versus the South. This was scary. Time of innocent women were being raped. Every 16 minutes, a woman was being raped. Every 5 minutes, a child was taken to become a child soldier. Every 10 minutes, a father lost hope. During the Civil War, I was told to kill my own people. Instead of killing, I decided to save people's life. It was at that time that my militia turned against me because I did not follow their orders and I refused to fight the war, as I was saving the lives of white people instead. More often, ladies and gentlemen, standing up to what is right will bring consequences. I witnessed before my eyes the rape of my own mother, left for dead after her house was set on fire. The white people that saved her earlier would come to my rescue. They provided me a fake passport and an airline ticket to Europe. It wasn't the first time in my life that I would enter the airplane. Once in the airplane, I was greeted by the white flight attendant, blonde and blue eyes. She asked me if I wanted a water to drink. That taste of water was the first taste of freedom. The only freedom I know before that was freedom of the mind. Freedom of the mind is to look beyond present circumstances to a new level of life. I found myself going to Belgium. Once I arrived to Belgium, I was homeless, eating from the trash can, sleeping at the train station. But I still believed that one day I will become somebody. I traveled from France to Paris. There, I was told, there's only 2 jobs a black man can do here. or you do a hard-level job, or you do security. But when you do security, you have to carry a dog with you. I'm from the Congo. We don't do dogs. And once again, I started picking up ice cube of fish. Every time I pick up ice cube of fish, I told myself, my great-grandmother once said that one day I will become somebody. I made a decision that there is something better for me. One day during my break time, as I was watching TV, and I saw my eyes be glued, watching a music video, California Love, with Tupac Shakur. They welcomed me to the wild, wild west. With all the money that I saved on February 14, 1998, I came into America. When I thought I've seen it all, when I thought I've faced all my obstacles, I'll be facing the escalator. In the Congo, we only claim trees. Now I'll be facing the damn escalator. I even didn't know how I would step on the damn thing. But I remember when my great-grandmother said that one day you will become somebody. My second day in America, I was robbed at gunpoint. My third day in America, I found a job as a janitor, cleaning a toilet. 20 years later, I still clean toilet. The only difference is, today, I own the damn toilet. It's not about how you start. It's not about where you came from. It's about what you do with the value that was instilled in you. Marines for 243 years, they have been battling wars, saving the planet, believing in themselves that we are our brothers' keepers and we are our sisters' keepers. It was in that time when I was cleaning in the toilet in 1998, a recruiter found me. He asked me, have you ever thought of becoming a Marine? And I remember many, many years ago, the Marine who told me, you were never gonna be like me. And I say, look at me now, bitch. On March 22nd, 2000, I did my first ASVAD test. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Congo, we don't use computer at that time. The recruiter told me, you only need 32 points to pass. And I passed with 36. Few days later, ladies and gentlemen, I was in boot camp. I could not speak any English, remember that. My recruiter told me, Tchicaya Misamu, just be the loudest person in the room. Even if you don't know, just follow. And because I was the last person in the room, I became the guide. But remember, I was not speaking in English. When they told me to do column right, I was going column left. I was fired. In life, ladies and gentlemen, failure. If you never fail, you never succeed. I'm going to ask you to fail forward. Fail how? Forward. Fail how? Forward. Because I couldn't speak any English, recruit was making fun of me. They told me how to pronounce the TH on thank you. With my accent, instead of saying thank you, he sounded more like fuck you. Imagine Tchicaya, recruiter Tchicaya Misamu going to the chow hall with a tray, asking for food. And every time they put food, and I say, fuck you very much. The recruit, the junior instructor, heard, he said, recruit Tchicaya, who told you how to say that? And I said, this recruit, sir. Always blame somebody else. And this recruit happened to be also an English teacher. Every night before we go to sleep, they make me read out loud the Green Masters. And I become top of my class at the School of Infantry. And once again, you must fail forward. As an immigrant, as a young boy, we came to America with no family. I found myself being part of the greatest military institution and the savior of this planet, which are the Marines. And once again, like Star Wars, Marines gave me shelter, food, and education. And before, ladies and gentlemen, I have no clue about student loan. I did my master's, 2 masters, and my doctorate using my GI Bill. The Marines taught me to continue to honor the memory of those who came before and paved the road to greatness. So someone somewhere deep in the jungle of the Congo can become somebody. To stay courageous and to stand up for what is right, even if it means losing your life. To stay committed and provide peace all over the world, to give hope to those in need. I stand here before you as a living proof that anything is possible when you dream and believe in yourself. When you have the willingness to help others and the courage to carry on the tradition that has changed the world for 243 years. To surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and goals and who do not look down on you, but always look up to you. To be around those who don't create walls, but to create bridges to reach and connect, because Marines don't communicate, Marines connect. And remember, the hard work makes the dream work. When it gets hard, keep going, keep failing forward, because hard work will always pay off. The road to greatness is not an easy road. When we think we have arrived, when we realize that we have more to do, just like Martin Luther King, who once had a dream, after reaching the mountaintop, he then realized his name was being called in the valley. There is a little boy somewhere in the corner of the world, like in the Congo, who wished to become somebody. As a Marine, continue to fight the war against terrorism. I strongly believe that the next war on terror will be fought in the soil of Africa. Africa is the richest continent on the whole planet, from its rainforest to its natural resources. But Africa is poor, ravaged by civil war that have killed millions of people. I do not want to be the man that has to go back and fight my own people. I stand here asking you for help to continue giving hope to the children of Africa so that them too can become someone. If they have the willingness to work hard, the courage and the commitment to change the world. I believe everyone can become somebody, including the poor and the forgotten people of Africa. Now, to honor the people of Africa, I would love to speak to them in their own language. Mes chers amis du Congo, je sais que le tissu social en ce moment souffre, mais c'est seulement dans la paix, dans l'unité et la prospérité que nous allons changer les choses. Ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude my speech, it is a tradition in Africa to sing an African Congolese song. Only 3 notes. Only 3 notes. Lobolo, lobolo. Can you say it? Lobolo, Lobolo. One more time. Lobole, Lobole Yahweh, Lobo, Lobo, Lo. One more time. Marines, you gotta speak from your gut because you believe you are the savior on the planet. I'm asking you guys who are not to connect to the people of Africa. Here once again. Lobole, Lobole Yahweh, Lobo, Lobo. Lobole, Lobole Yahweh, Lobo, Lobo. Quand je pense au Congo, hey, Lobo, Lobo. Y'a un espoir qui arrive, Lobo, Lobo, Lobo. Ish, Lobole Yahweh, Lobo, Lobo. Thank you very much, Marines. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hey man, that speech was extremely motivating, it's inspiring. Dr. Tchicaya is a great man, he's an inspiration. We're hearing about the struggles that he went through growing up can't even compare to some of the things that we're going through here, and the fact that he made it out, the courage, the commitment, the dedication that he had, that's something that we all strive to have. And the fact that he's a Marine and I'm a Marine, hey, that makes us brothers from another mother, you know, so I like that. And I definitely respect him.
We had the pleasure of having Dr. Tchicaya being our speaker for this year's 243rd Marine Corps birthday ball celebration. It's always wonderful to hear Dr. Tchicaya speak about his life story. It's such an inspiration. Not only was he in the Marine Corps, he is a strong believer in supporting the military and tying that into the benefits of physical fitness and basically living a good life as far as physical, emotional, and mentally well-being, and he continues to inspire thousands of people, and we greatly appreciate the support that he gives us, and always the end state of the Marine Corps is to return quality citizens, and he does that in an amazing manner, and we are so grateful to have him for tonight.
You know, what I took away from the speech was that I felt that it was a true story of perseverance, of a dedication and enduring will. Enduring will is what I take from that speech. It's just like, even when the chips are down, life has other goals for you, and to see it through no matter what. So I really enjoyed it.
And the more I learned about Dr. Tchicaya and his story, the more inspired I became. And that led us to inviting him here as our guest of honor. And I'll tell you, I was blown away by his speech, by his story, and I'm truly inspired by what he does and how he does it, and how he teaches me to employ that in my leadership every day.
I was truly, truly, truly blown away and touched by his amazing speech, and I couldn't wait to get to the book, which I was sitting with him asking him for his book, and he had one for me. I feel like the world is a better place with this man in it, and I'm just honored that he's a Marine, but more importantly, I'm honored that he's a light in this world, because he's really what we need right now. And a lot of what he was saying really struck a chord, and I hope it struck a chord deep with everybody, because change can be just a small ripple, and he made a huge impact.
You know, something really interesting, I was just sitting with his friends at my table, and something I never knew was that our military is made up of so many immigrants. There are people who are not from this country originally, who are fighting and sacrificing themselves for our country, which, wow, is pretty moving. How about you?
Oh wow, it was amazing. Every time I listened to my husband, I learned something new. Actually, being here with the Marines was amazing, because honestly, what these people do for this country is unbelievable, and knowing that my husband is a part of it is even more amazing. His background, our family, it's just very moving.
I was happy to hear him talking about how people should always believe in themselves. Like, you can reach, you can be somebody, like he said, like if you believe it. And that was a great message.
C'était vraiment un honneur de participer à la cérémonie de Tchicaya. Il fallait être là pour voir exactement que c'est possible lorsqu'on rêve un tout petit peu, hein, avec un peu plus de courage, on peut aussi atteindre un objectif, un goal, réaliser son rêve. Et en participant à cette cérémonie, j'ai finalement compris que la réussite est à la portée de tout le monde. Donc il faut juste rêver, travailler dur. Et merci encore une fois Tchicaya de nous avoir invités à cette cérémonie. Pour moi, c'était un honneur avec ma femme Clève. Et on a passé de très bons moments.
So truth be told, I know a good deal about Tchicaya Misamu because I've read his book and I've been so inspired by the book and by hearing him speak. And I'm a filmmaker that I am going to make a film about his life. The thing is with Tchicaya is that it's not just about his story, it's about the man himself. And when he speaks to people, he makes you feel that if he could overcome all the challenges in his life, that you can certainly overcome the challenge in yours. It makes me want to try harder when I hear him speak. When I think about his story, when I write about him, because I'm writing the screenplay, when I write about him, it makes me want to try harder at what I'm doing. It's given me the passion that I need to go after it and to make the film of his life. Because there's some stories that need to be told. This is a story that deserves to be told, that needs to be told and wants to be told. And with his passion and with the passion of others, hopefully we can execute that.
C'était juste pour dire merci à Tchicaya de l'invitation que tu nous as offerte. Moi et ma femme, nous sommes venus ici à Los Angeles pour te suivre. Moi, je pense que ton message était très poignant. Il nous a permis de comprendre qu'en fait, chaque enfant, que ce soit au Congo ou partout ailleurs dans le monde, avec un peu d'effort, peut finalement atteindre son objectif. Ce que nous venons de suivre tout à l'heure avec tous ces braves soldats, les Marines, c'est très encourageant, c'est très motivant et c'est ce que je retiens de cette cérémonie. Donc pour vous qui êtes là-bas au Congo, courage. Hein. L'exemple en est là, Tchicaya. Il est né au Congo, il est arrivé aux États-Unis, il a travaillé dur. C'était pas facile, ça il faut le dire. Il a travaillé dur, aujourd'hui les résultats sont là. Il est homme d'affaires, il est businessman. Donc le message qu'il veut vous passer ici, il est très simple, c'est qu'il faut rêver, oser et le reste se fera tout seul. Si vous croyez en Dieu, Dieu va vous aider à le faire, ok? Donc voici ce que j'avais à dire, donc courage à vous et continuez à suivre les vidéos de Tchicaya. Ciao!